Hello and welcome to Antwerp, Belgium. This is one of 11 plants we have here, and we'll be travelling to 4 of those sites to find out what plastics, pipes and beer have in common. Coming up, Belgium, famous for chocolate, waffles and plastic. We take a look at the INEOS plants in Antwerp and find out why they're right at the heart of our European operations.
It is a great team here. It is a brand new facility. We have the best technology, we have the highest energy efficiency, and that all together is a very exciting package.
Fire and ice. We meet the Dragon Vessel project manager and proud dad whose daughter has her sights set on skating her way into the Winter Olympics.
It's a real treat to be able to come out here and watch her practice.
In conversation with INEOS chairman Jim Ratcliffe, I'll be getting his take on Brexit and the importance of free trade.
The UK is quite an important market. It's a top 5 economy in the world. And whilst Europe is very important to us, the UK is very important to Europe.
We have details of an exciting new collaboration with Imperial College London, looking into new ways to tackle climate change.
So we're delighted to be working with INEOS on this project because it really demonstrates their commitment to reducing their carbon footprint.
And of course, we'll bring you the latest news and insight from around INEOS. Belgium is known as the diamond capital of the world, but it's also the heart of INEOS's operations here in Europe. And joining me today is Bart de Gooister, who is a production engineer here on the site. And Bart, you've just completed the Barcelona Marathon.
Yes, that's correct. However, the marathon itself was just a stepping stone to the bigger event later this year, being the Namibia Challenge, which is also called the INAM17 Graduate Desert Challenge.
And more on that later. But first, this site is about to celebrate its 20th anniversary within INEOS. It's where it all began for the company, and now we're the second biggest employer in the area.
INEOS Oxide has thrived from its Zwijndrecht home base, really because of its logistical location. We're on the water, so we can bring in raw materials, ship out finished product at economic cost. It's a region which has historically been great at producing the technical capability and the people know-how. Anyone can have assets, but to have the people who know how to run them and improve them is the real trick. So we've found a great home in a place that's suited for the chemical industry and can populate the chemical industry and bring a lot of value.
If you look to INEOS in Belgium, it's been a fantastic story. And we've been growing tremendously. So from 230 people to 2,500 people. And when you talk to government, and I'm actually the face of INEOS in Belgium because of our organization and other stakeholders, people do know us.
INEOS has 11 sites manufacturing chemicals and oil products that are found in many household items, including cosmetics, plastic wrappers, and even a pipe that carries beer to Bruges.
In Belgium, we are a beer country. So in Belgium, we produce the product that transports beer from a brewery in the center of Bruges to outside the city where they bottle the product.
Both phenol and acetone, they touch us in our everyday life. You find them everywhere in the household, but also on the street, and as a precursor in many other chemical processes.
Well, our products are used in a variety of industries. Think of packaging, healthcare and diagnostics.
From fragrances, from your food industry even, you will find our products everywhere.
Set at Antwerp docks, INEOS is expanding with the introduction of a butane storage tank, Europe's largest, which will begin operations in 2019.
Well, the plan is that we are going to build over there the biggest tank for the butane, and this tank is actually built by the latest standards and safety standards.
This is the latest expansion of INEOS Antwerp and confirms its importance in the INEOS family. Thousands of people work across the INEOS Antwerp business, in everything from maintenance to research and testing. It also offers the local community the chance to get involved in areas they might not otherwise have thought of.
It makes me feel proud. It is the world's largest facility for producing these products. It is a great team here. It is a brand new facility. We have the best technology, we have the highest energy efficiency, and that all together is a very exciting package.
When I go home, when I look back to my day, I really like it that we have a nice atmosphere in the plant.
The future is bright for this site. We see a lot of investment, we see market demand growing, we see new markets coming up, so really looking forward to the future here on this site.
And the support for INEOS being sited in Antwerp rises to the very top.
Is a very innovative company when you look to the chemical clusters. And secondly, I hope that also in the future a very important player to make the chemical cluster and the chemical industry in Antwerp more important than it's already the case, because when you have some companies like INEOS, it's a very added value for all of us.
From what we can see, over the years, the relationship has grown stronger and stronger, and the presence of INEOS in Belgium has kept growing, which of course we are very happy about.
Cleaner carbon capture could become a reality under a new proposed scheme between INEOS and the Imperial College London.
INEOS would fund a PhD student who would work at Grangemouth on emissions.
It's part of a drive to find new ways to capture and to store carbon.
Grangemouth, one of INEOS's largest manufacturing sites, producing over 9 million litres of clean fuel and almost 1 million tonnes of chemical product a year. But with such a large-scale operation comes harmful byproducts that need to be dealt with. So what are INEOS doing to help develop the next generation of clean production?
Carbon capture is a process of taking the carbon dioxide that forms during our combustion processes out of our flue gases and then capturing it and being able to store it rather than it being emitted to the environment. I think carbon capture has the potential to be a key part of the manufacturing industries going forwards, but it does need to overcome the hurdles from the technology. So Imperial College London is going to have a PhD student that will be focused particularly on the areas of the Elegancy Consortium. Its aims is to try and understand ways in which we can better develop the technology, better understand the business case and understand the policy framework required to support the deployment of industrial carbon capture.
And this is where that PhD student could come from. Imperial College London, one of the world's leading universities.
It's important to capture carbon because as we go into the future, we are going to have tougher and tougher climate change budget targets. One of the unavoidable ways of reducing carbon is going to be capturing carbon from power plants and industrial processes and putting it underground.
And what better place for the future INEOS PhD student to practice than at Imperial College London's working pilot room.
Of course, we are a university, so we can't build big things at scale, but what we can do is use lab and pilot scale facilities like this to demonstrate how carbon capture will work. Our current plans with INEOS are to jointly supervise a PhD student, look at how carbon capture and storage can be employed principally in Grangemouth, and with a principal focus on hydrogen-based carbon capture and storage.
So will it be here at Imperial College that INEOS can find the future of clean production and help further the future of carbon capture technology?
I think what we want to show them is, for their different parts of their system, what kind of technologies might be suitable and what some of the cost and other implications might be. So we're delighted to be working with INEOS on this project because it really demonstrates their commitment to reducing their carbon footprint, and it's very interested in what we're trying to do around hydrogen and carbon capture, so it ends up being a very good mix of their interests and our capabilities.
We've got a very international INTV for you today. Belgium, the UK, and now over to the US, where an INEOS colleague is busy juggling a groundbreaking project at work with Olympic dreams at home.
My job involves interaction with suppliers, negotiating deals, making sure we get ships to the U.S. in time. Ships come in 24/7, so you have to just be ready to work through things and make sure ships get out. My family lives in Colorado, so I work here in Houston. I visit them on the weekends. It's challenging at times. I've been doing it for 7 years. Family moved back to Colorado so my daughters could train in figure skating. My youngest daughter tours the world skating for Team USA. She's on the world team. She just recently moved to Los Angeles to train. She's always been a hard worker.
It takes a lot of commitment. You have to completely dedicate yourself to the sport. So even when I'm not at the rink, I'm doing things that will benefit me on the ice the next day. It's my first World Championship, so I don't really know what to expect, but I know that I'm getting myself to be as trained as I can possibly be, and I'm so excited to be there and experience it. It's going to be awesome. I just feel really lucky because my parents are so supportive and have given up so much and done so much for me to be able to chase my dreams. I know that he's very, very busy, so just to have him here and have my mom here too in the stands watching, so I feel really lucky.
From Houston, I worked through Wednesday night I flew to Denver. Worked from home for the day on Thursday. And Thursday night flew out here to California to watch Mariah. Juggling flights around and schedules, and I don't get to get out here very often to see her, so it's a real treat to be able to come out here and watch her practice. This is definitely an exciting part of my life. Be part of such a great project within INEOS, to be the first company to export ethane, and the incredible amount of work and team effort that took was just amazing, and Mariah coming into her own as an elite skater. It's just, it's an incredible time right now.
And we wish Mariah every success for her quest for Olympic medals. And we hope that Andy has some smart moves of his own.
Now, on each edition of INTV, I get the opportunity to put your questions to Jim Ratcliffe. But this time, we're going to do things a bit differently. Brexit and the election of Donald Trump has shown that you can take nothing for granted. When I sat down with Jim earlier this month, we talked about these and other major events. Now, the last few months have seen some seismic shifts in the global political scene, both in Europe and in the US. So we thought we'd take some time, this time on Ask Jim, to talk about some of those issues. So Jim, let me start with Brexit and ask, what do you think the impact of Brexit is for us?
I think it's been relatively limited, in this, 8 months since the vote. And if you look at our businesses in the UK, they're all doing really well. Yeah. So I have to say, I can't, I only feel optimistic about the future in the UK at the moment. I think there's a general recognition in mainland Europe that the UK is quite an important market. It's a top 5 economy in the world. And whilst Europe is very important to us, the UK is very important to Europe. The negotiation now is going to probably be sort of sensible and pragmatic.
There was an associated question came in from Antwerp, which says the Antwerp chemical cluster is the biggest in Europe, with an ever-increasing share of INEOS on the sites. Will INEOS remain interested in Belgium post-Brexit?
Belgium's a great manufacturing country, as many of these northern European countries are. So, we've got a huge amount of investment in that country and a great track record of success. So no, nothing will change in Belgium.
Let's cross the Atlantic and talk a bit about the US. We've got a very different incumbent in the White House now. How do you see the Trump presidency impacting the industry? And in particular, what do you think the risks are for INEOS as an international company with a sort of more maybe isolationist approach?
I think the recent surge in that American economy has been on the back of the investment in shale. He's very positive about shale. And I think if he does what he says he will do, which is reduce corporate tax rates, then I think that will create another wave of investment. Because if you've got low tax rates on top of the world's largest economy, which is also probably the world's most vibrant economy just at the moment, then we're going to see that stimulating lots more investment in America. So, all that stuff is good for INEOS, good for chemicals.
And how do you see all of this with Europe and the US impacting the sort of global scene with China and the Middle East? Are we getting a rebalancing? Is more of the same?
Well, the only issue I think that one might be concerned about is protectionism. The other side of that is if you've got a strong American economy, that's going to be good for the world, because a lot of the world trades quite strongly with America.
Okay, and finally, a very important question here from INEOS in Antwerp. In the past, there used to be a football competition between INEOS Hythe and INEOS Antwerp. Seeing as Manchester United are now playing Anderlecht, is it time to organise INEOS London against INEOS Antwerp?
Oh no, that's a super idea, yeah. The last time I played in one of those matches, well, I remember two things about the match. Firstly, I was carried off on a stretcher and had to come back in a wheelchair, and we lost 5-1. But the second thing I remember, which was a bit of a lesson in Europe, I have to say, was on the Friday. We all went over on the Friday night, and we were taken out. They were very sociable. They took us out drinking. Anyway, we pitched up the following morning on the football pitch, feeling a little the worse for wear. And all the Belgian guys were there in their strip, and we didn't recognise a single one of them, because the guys who took us out were not playing football. Football team had had a night, you know, on drinking water, and we could hardly, you know, put one foot in front of the other.
OK, well, there's your answer, guys. Get the beers on ice. Thank you very much, Jim. Till next time.
Now, let's catch up with some other news from around INEOS.
INEOS has announced that for the first time it's to enter the car market and is planning to produce an uncompromising 4x4 off-roader. Jim Ratcliffe decided to try the new venture after the Land Rover Defender, a car he admired, stopped being produced. Jim says the new 4x4 is inspired by the Defender, but it will be a major improvement in terms of quality and reliability. The new headquarters building at Grangemouth has been nominated for multiple design awards. The building was opened in 2016 and houses 450 people. It took just 366 days to build from start to finish and was designed by Michael Laird Architects of Edinburgh. The building has been nominated for both the BCO Awards and the RICS Awards, which will be announced later in the year. The INEOS Shale programme has stepped up a pace by increasing the number of licence areas in the UK by 10%. Our most advanced projects are in the East Midlands, where we've carried out numerous public consultations.
So the first piece we do is look at all of the historic data. A lot of these areas have a huge industrial heritage based on the geology. We can use that to site where we would like to drill a vertical cored well. What we're trying to do there is take samples of that geology, understand the mineralogy, understand the pressures, the temperatures, start to get an idea of the geology, the structural complexity and the potential of those basins.
INEOS has announced its full-year trading figures for 2016. EBITDA was a record €4.3 billion and we repaid €1.2 billion of debt. During the year, whilst Asian markets were weaker, European markets remained good and American markets remained strong thanks to their feedstock advantage. Former world champion hurdler and Welshman Colin Jackson welcomed the news that the Welsh Government has committed to introducing the Daily Mile in all its schools.
We are very excited about the launch of the Daily Mile across our wonderful country of Wales. Not only will it make them fit, but also in their mindset. I think it gives them an opportunity to really be able to focus on something that they will enjoy. And that focus then will be taken into classrooms, there's no doubt about it.
INEOS, of course, is built on enterprise and adventure, lean and adaptable. We take on challenges that are beyond other organisations.
And this attitude is embedded and well known throughout the organisation. But we like to make sure that newcomers, such as our graduate trainees, also pick up this can-do attitude, which is why we've launched an exciting new challenge for them.
The Barcelona Marathon is the graduates' first major milestone on their journey to completing the Namibia Challenge. For many of them, it's their first marathon attempt.
I'm feeling petrified about tomorrow.
If you asked me a year ago, would you ever run a marathon in your life? I would say, hell no.
The main reason why we're doing the Barcelona Marathon is just to make sure that everyone can actually cover the distance and mentally know that they can do a marathon. And I think it's also a good benchmark as to how fit people are and how fit they're going to be to deal with Namibia in May.
As they clock up the kilometres, the graduates' months of hard work is starting to pay off.
Nearly the half marathon is done, so have a great time till now. Hope the second half is the same as my first one, but I don't expect that.
I can't wait for this to be over, to be honest.
There's going to be a bit of pain towards the end, a bit of slowness, but that makes the achievement.
In less than 4 hours, the first of Team INEOS have reached the finishing line. But did they enjoy the experience or just endure it?
I'm ecstatic that I did 3 hours 52, so huge PB.
It was hard. The last 10k just went slower and slower. I was like, why did it go so slowly? But I did it, sub 5 hours. I'm really pleased. A little bit emotional. Probably can tell.
The biggest challenge I faced here was definitely keep going. And sometimes I just wanted to quit. Luckily, I had someone by my side that really supported me and pulled me through all the hard bits.
Doing this every day in Namibia will be quite challenging. Now we have a taste of what it will be like. It will be exciting, challenging.
Good luck to all our graduates, including Bart.
Thank you.
That's all we have time for in this edition of INTV. Thank you very much to Bart for joining me, this time in Antwerp.
You're welcome.
Until next time, goodbye.
Goodbye.